This talk is to give a general overview of financial arrangements for students coming from England, Wales and Northern Ireland to study in Scotland. The aim of this presentation is to help you understand why you should consider spending your money on a degree, how much it is realistically going to cost you, and how you are then going to pay for the degree programme. Some of you will already know what career path you intend to follow and will be planning to study the relevant degree to help you get there, such as law or engineering. Others may not have any idea about where your degree will take you, but want to study a subject at university level that interests and excites you. Getting a good degree is important, and so enjoying the subject you are studying is paramount. In Scotland, students tend to study for 4 years, and in that time, students can develop many skills that are useful to employers. Employers know that students with degrees are able to work on their own as well as working in teams. They know that they can communicate well, both orally and in written word, and are adept at research. These are all transferable skills that you will gain during the course of any degree that you take. Going to university promises to be an amazing experience. At Aberdeen, we have 120 different nationalities on campus, so you'll be meeting people from different countries, different backgrounds, and different cultures. There's a chance to study abroad or learn a new sport and get involved in clubs and societies. Students have many opportunities available to them at university that they may not have otherwise, which will allow you to add colour to your CV. Make sure that you take as many of these opportunities that come your way and really enjoy your time at university. It's a time to mature, become more confident, and think about your future. Research tells us that those people who get a university degree have better career prospects and are far more likely to get a job with a greater earning potential than others who have not. 90% of our graduates enter directly into work or full-time study or training within 6 months of graduating. And in fact, University of Aberdeen graduates enjoy the highest average starting salaries as rated by Sunday Times University Guide. The MA and BSc students study their chosen degree subjects and up to 3 other subjects in each of their first 2 years. This gives you the chance to try out new subjects and tailor your degree to suit your interests and needs. It's a very flexible system and allows you to change your degree intention up to the end of second year, after which you then specialise into the area that you've chosen. So this is a general overview of costs you can expect to incur whilst at university. We will go through them one by one. Accommodation will be the greatest of your costs. Travel costs will depend on where you come from and if you plan to return home as much or as little as possible. We'll also have a look at the miscellaneous costs and also tuition fees. This slide gives you an idea of accommodation costs for staying in halls. For all first-year students, your accommodation is guaranteed, and it depends on what you prefer, whether you prefer to be in catered or self-catered accommodation. Catered starts from £129.56 per week, and additional food we've estimated at £30 per week. For self-catered, it comes in at £65 per week, and additional food is estimated at £50 per week. For private accommodation, prices can vary depending on where you stay and who you're staying with. And this generally is from about £300 per month. Utility bills can be anywhere approximately £50 per month. And food we've estimated as being £120 you're paying per month for that. Of course, all these figures that we're giving you are estimated costs and can vary greatly between student from student depending on your lifestyle. There will always be lots of other things you will need to pay for during your time as a student, whichever university you go to. The costs listed here are only a guide. and they very much depend on you and your interests, but will give you an idea of the possible costs you may incur over and above your accommodation. The travel costs will depend on your mode of transport and how often you plan to travel home. Remember, if you plan well in advance, you can get some really good deals on train and also by air and by bus. There is also the student rail card, which might be useful to invest in. Books are an important part of student life, and you will be given a reading list for each of your courses. There will be some which you should buy, but you will be able to borrow some from the library or buy from our second-hand bookshop as well. You will have to pay for photocopying and printing of your essays and lecture notes, so it is worth budgeting for that. Clothes are an obvious necessity, but costs will vary greatly depending on whether you shop at Primark or Prada. The telephone cost is obviously just an estimate, and again they will vary very much depending on your use and what kind of deal you're on with your phone company. You will have to also consider clubs and society membership costs and whether you need to hire equipment or pay for extras. Costs can also soon mount up if you start going out regularly. Aberdeen is a very student-orientated city, so there are often good deals for students on the go, so do keep a lookout for them. It's also a good idea to have some money which isn't budgeted, as there will always be costs which just crop up. Overall, we suggest around £2,200 per year to meet all of these costs. One cost that hasn't been mentioned is food, but it's obviously particularly important. Again, it very much depends if you're in catered accommodation, self-catered or private accommodation. So ask your parents or guardians how much you should budget for food each week. And you might find that when you come to university, you start making friends, pooling resources, and start cooking together, which is a great way to budget. The tuition fees at Scottish universities are currently £1,820 per year for 4 years. But if you're applying to medicine, it's £2,895 over 5 years. All Scottish universities will charge the same amount. Applying for support. To apply for support, this gives you the internet addresses that you need to apply through. For England, it's through studentfinance.direct.gov.uk, and also for Wales and Northern Ireland, it gives you the addresses there. You can apply for loans for your fees and for maintenance, but as the name suggests, these will have to be repaid after graduation. Parents will usually make a contribution to your student costs. It is important to make sure you know if there are any scholarships that you will be eligible for. At the university, we have a number of scholarships on offer based on academic merit, as well as financial need, as well as one specific to sport and music. There is only one form for you to fill in online, and it can be found on our website. The deadline for applications is usually at the end of April each year, so please do have a look at that now. Most scholarships are worth £1,000 for each year of study, so that could be £3,000, £4,000 or even £5,000 to help with your university studies. We understand that most of our students will need to work while studying, and the Student Association run a scheme called JobLink, which lists jobs that are available locally. If you sign up, you will get emails with updates of what jobs are available. The university does suggest that you should only work 15 hours per week in your part-time job, as it is more likely to affect your academic study if you work longer hours than this recommendation. If you are planning to come to university, it is a good idea to start saving now. Most of our students use their long summer break to get a full-time job and save up money for the coming year. You can also take out student overdrafts, and it is worth shopping around for the best deals with banks. Many have good introductory offers for new students, but again, these need to be paid back, and the student loan company tend to have better rates, so do research the options that's best for you. The student loan for maintenance will help to support your everyday living costs. The current maximum loan for students living away from home and not in London is £4,950. This is 25% means tested, which means that if you want to take out the loan, your parents or guardians will have to declare the household income. You'll be able to get 75% of the maximum student loan for maintenance available to you, no matter what your household income is. Whether you get the remaining 25% depends on the income assessment. The loan company, as I said before, has very good interest rates, and you do not have to start paying back your loan until you are earning over £15,000 per year. If you're earning £18,000, for example, you would have to start paying back £20.76 per month. Student loans accrue interest from the day that they are paid out until the day that they are repaid in full. You can repay more if you want to clear your loan faster. As already mentioned, you can take out a loan to pay for your tuition fees, so you will not need to pay costs up front. There is a maintenance grant also, which means that it doesn't have to be repaid. And that is up to £2,906 for students from low-income households. From a household income of less than £25,000, you will receive the full loan, and from £25,000 up to £50,020, you will receive a partial grant. Those who have a household income of over £50,020 will not be eligible for a grant. So do find out exactly what you could be entitled to. This slide here gives you a clear breakdown of what the grants and loans mean to your situation. On the direct.gov.uk site, there is an area where you can put in your personal details, and it will calculate what grant or loan you're entitled to. Thank you for listening to our talk on finance. Some useful contacts are listed here, which you may wish to get in contact with.